Hi, my name is Fátima and I'm talking to you today from Alma, New Brunswick, just beside the Bay of Fundy National Park. The Bay of Fundy is the highest tide in the world. The tides can go up to 12 meters, that would be 36 feet. So it's pretty cool. But this is a fiber-related podcast and I will start with my finished projects. So my first finished project is my sweater that I did because I got some leftover fiber and I thought I'm going to do a leftover sweater like Arnie from Arnie and Carlos does. And in reality, this is the first day I'm really wearing it because we got a lot of heat waves on the way. So that was cool, and I did these sleeves because I wanted to do it in the car while we were driving, and I didn't want to have to count the decreases and stuff. So I decreased here and here I used as it is. Then I was surprised when I was watching the Harmony and Fleece podcast. I'll leave a link here. And they were showing the 70th magazine from Rowan. And they had a sweater that had the sleeves just like mine. I said, I'm connected to the tendencies, to the trends. So my second finished project, and this took me a little bit longer, is for the mittens for my husband. So, because he was complaining about cold hands, so I did these mittens for him. I found a free pattern on the website and I googled a free pattern, and I'm going to put a link to it because I wanted to understand how this would work. The free pattern was very nice. I'm very grateful this person put the free pattern there. I'll put the link. Her math was not correct, so you're going to note it's basically it's almost like typos. But the number of rows that you had to knit worked fine. And what I wanted really is to understand how to do this. This was my first mittens. First time I knitted mittens. And it's big on me, but it's good on my husband. And so I found out how to do this. The way she does, and she tells in the pattern, is you knit the 31 stitches for this specific one, then you put a different color waste yarn, and then you go on knitting this part of the gloves, and then you come back when you have finished the fingers and you do you pick up stitches to do this part. And because you have the different color waste yarn, it's very easy to pick up stitches, but I don't like to pick up stitches. So what I did on my second one, I knitted one stitch and then I did a yarn over, knitted one, a yarn over, and then when I came back I knitted one in different needles, and I left the needle here. I don't know if it's more practical or not, because working with the 4 needles here is kind of complicated in the beginning, but it worked out. The other thing is I was lazy and I made a regular, the pattern is good also because it gives you 2 possibilities, to have a regular thumb or to have a peekaboo thumb. And I did a regular thumb for my first one and I was pretty happy, and my husband said, "Oh, the thumb is not open." And then I said, "No, it's not open, you're not going to get it." And then he complained about the thumb 2 or 3 more times. And I said, okay, I'm going to try to do the thumb on the second pair of gloves. And if it is good, if it's easy, if it works, then I'll do for both. So it did work, and I did. Again, the little finger is a little bit tight Um, so, but the rest is okay. I could reduce or add one stitch here and something, but it is nice. It works and it's finished. That's the best part. Then my work in progress is my Norbu that I had the sleeves done almost the same, so now I have just finished I'm just starting to add the sleeves. And then when I was knitting it, my sleeve last night, I noticed this huge difference on the yarn here, and it looks like a line that I don't like, but it is what it is. The thing here is I dyed the fiber first, and the dyed was not completely homogeneously dyed. I didn't care about that. So what I did is I spun different bobbins, and then I was getting from different bobbins at a time. But it's still, I was doing a 3-ply on this. I still got this this area that became a very straight line. But you're gonna get this throughout the pattern. You have the differences going. Like here, it looks. This was one plied thing continuously. It was not. I didn't change the yarn or anything. It's just because I dyed the fiber first, and the fiber was not consistently homogeneous. Then it gave me all these changes. So it is hand spun, hand dyed. We're gonna have to accept that. The other thing is, when I bought this fiber is 85% blue face laster, BFL, and it is 25% silk. I thought it was very soft because of the silk, but I'm starting to feel that maybe this was a superwash fiber, because I bought it at Fiber Garden, and I noticed that they sell both, and I'm wondering if I bought the wrong one, because I normally don't like to spin superwash. I don't like to work with superwash. But I didn't notice when I was spinning. On the contrary, I thought it was really nice to spin. So I don't know if it's the silk or if it was the thing. I think if I burn a little bit one yarn, I'm going to see how it works, and maybe I'll be able to see if it has, if it is superwash or not. But it is working, so now I'm working on this. The other ongoing project that I have is this pair of socks, because I was doing the mittens, but I was at the point of the fingers that I had to think. So I got another hand spun yarn, and I started doing my socks. And when I'm knitting socks, I like to knit them toe up, and that was a good thing here, because as you see, I'm almost out of yarn here. And the other thing that I like to do is I like to do two together. So I knit up to here where I have to start increasing for the heel, then I go to the other and start knitting the other one, and then I knit the heel in one and I knit the heel on the other, and then I start with the top, and then when I'm done, now that I am almost done with the yarn, I'm going to do this just to be sure I have the same height in both, and then I'm done, because I have a problem knitting one foot and then going and try to knit the whole complete foot. So I rather do this partially. The other thing about this is a free pattern that I got from Interweave, and I like it. I should have done, I thought about doing the opposite here, so I would start you have this inclined ribbon here, and then you have the regular one, right? So I thought, oh, you should do the opposite so that you have this side there, and probably the pattern would say so. I just learned the pattern and it was okay. But it's almost done. I'm not going to redo it. It feels really nice. This is 100% merino that I have hand spun and hand dyed, and it feels very cushy. It's nice. It's going to be warm. And I normally like socks that are this high anyway, so that was good. The other thing is people tell me that if you use a smaller needle, then there will be more resistance for the fiber to felt when you wash it. So because there's no place to go. So this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Then going to acquisitions. I went to this beautiful store in St. John's, Newfoundland, and I got this beautiful yarn. So I wanted to do a Paula Pereira shawl, and I think it's the Allegra, and I was going to buy 3, and I was thinking which color go well with it, because you need 3 skeins to do it. And then I saw that they had 7 skeins of the green, and green are the colors of my husband's eyes. He has hazel eyes. So I thought, maybe this is for me to get him and make him a sweater. So this is 75% merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. So it's a gorgeous yarn, and I'm pretty happy. But because I got 7 skeins, I don't think I'm going to need that much for him. So I got a lighter yellow, and I will find another yarn, and I'll be able to do the same shawl that I wanted to do from Paula Pereira. I already have the pattern that I bought for another group of skeins, but I can do it with this too. It's beautiful. I couldn't film the store there because the owner was not there, but it's a beautiful store. Like, I really recommend. It's downtown St. John's, and I wish I could buy more. I couldn't, because this was already a lot. Then we went to PI basically because I wanted to go to the Fleece and Harmony mill and store, right? So I have this pattern that a friend of mine gave me. It's the Carbeth cardigan from Kate Davis. You can see here. And this cardigan, I tried to knit it twice, and I was yarn chicken the first time just a little bit. So the second time I decided to put a different ribbon and then redo it. And when I was done this part, I didn't like the final result, so I frogged it again. So I frogged that twice, and it turned out to be a scarf that I already put here. So at this time I went there, I thought, you know what, I want to buy, I want to make this sweater. So I checked, and I got this yarn from Fleece and Harmony, and this is the signature crown wing. So I will still have to work on the path, but Kim from Fleece and Harmony, she was there. She was very busy, but she was very nice to assist me, because I had calculated more or less what I would need to make the sweater, and she recalculated to see if it would work, and she gave me some good hints about this. I think the fleece that they use, I have to check again, but I think it's a meat fleece, and the characteristic of meat fleece sheep is that it's springy, and it's gonna have a good insulation. I like the yarn from the meat sheep. So it's not fine, it's not a long wool, it's a springy wool, and it's very nice. So I got black, first because there were not that many that had enough yarn quantity that I could have, but also because black is a very difficult color for you to dye, to hand dye. So I said, you know, that's a good one. and I'm so looking forward to this. The other thing is that I will have to make some math, because the gauge here is 16 stitches to get the 10 centimeters, and the pattern gives me a 10 inches. Another good thing that Kim was explaining to me is that after I block it, I normally don't block my sweaters. What happens is that the yarn tends to enlarge this way, but tends to shrink like this. So I did a swatch, and I'm waiting for it to dry to measure. The other thing I got there was this. I'm going to put the link for a pattern that I got. I think she's from Scandinavia, and she made a beautiful pair of socks with some cats in it. And my sister Emilia is crazy for cats. So I got this yarn. This is Point Prim Sock Slate, and what it is 8% wool and 20% mohair. So I bought these two colors to make my sister that pair of socks. This is really great. Oh, one thing I forgot to say is that I normally don't block anything, and I don't like to block my sweaters, because I have one sweater that is what my husband wants me to knit for him with that yarn, and it had a nice texture, and I had to wash that sweater because I poured thing on it, old age thing. So I had to wash it, and it completely flattens out the sweater. So it loses the texture. I didn't like that. So I normally don't do. One thing that I forgot to say about this sweater is that because I use hand spun, and sometimes my hand spun is thicker, and it has some thick and thin spots, like you can see, it has popped out. So it could be a tension thing. I do knit Portuguese style color work most of the time, so the tension should be okay, but it could be also because the one yarn was thicker than the other, and I've been noticing that on my other project too. What I'm going to do when I get home is I'm going to iron it to see, steam it to see if it goes down and if it's okay. And the sun is coming, so good, and the water is going up too. So this is all I had to say about knitting and acquisition today. We're heading home, so most probably when you see this, we'll be already home. We're leaving tomorrow. The trip was amazing. Last time I did the video, we were in Terra Nova, Newfoundland, and we went to St. John's. St. John's is the capital, and it's 300,000 inhabitants, and the downtown area is so pretty. You have a lot of nature going through, rivers, you have a lot of hikes like right there. It's amazing. It's really, really beautiful. Then we had to rush back to the other side of the island to get the boat back, because we had to book the boat to be sure we would be able to get out in time. And what would happen is that we got the end of Hurricane Harry, and for around 3 hours that boat rocked. We felt really bad. We were with the dogs in the dog kennel. We gave our dogs gravel, but we didn't take any. So my husband was ill twice. I was ill once. And when we got back, we didn't want to see water for a good time. After that, we went to Prince Edward Island, and that was pretty calm. So what I really wanted to do there, I had already been there, was to go and get my fiber to visit Fleece and Harmony. So that was successful. That was really nice. But the beaches had a lot of seaweed in it. It didn't call too much attention for us. That's why you're not going to see much films about the Prince Edward Island or anything. But we did went to the place of Anne of Green Gables, and that was nice, because when you travel, you end up trying to investigate more. So we read a little bit more about the life of Lucy Montgomery, that is the writer, the author, and it was really nice. And now we almost didn't come here because we got a lot of rain on the way and it's cloudy, but we had a break this morning, so we're taking our chance in doing this. I hope you enjoyed the images of our trip that will come forward, and see you from home next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.